What's going on? This is Dr. Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion, and I get this question all the time. People ask me, how do I get good at the sport of judo? Well, there are a lot of ways to get good at judo. The first thing that I would tell you, thing number one, is you need to think differently about the sport. And when I mean think differently, somewhere in your mind you have constructed what you think is necessary in order to be good. You think that you need to do a bunch of throws, or that your child needs to do a lot of throws, or that they need to be really good at X, or if they just learned this thing or did more randori, that all that stuff, that's really not important. What's important is that you think differently about the sport of judo. Remove judo out of the way. Judo has nothing to do with you being good at judo. Judo is a roadblock is a roadblock for you that you need to remove out of the way in order to get good at judo. It has nothing to do with judo at all. I remember telling a track and field athlete that you'll be a good 400-meter runner once you realize that being good at the 400 meters has nothing to do with being good at the 400 meters, because it doesn't. Being good at judo doesn't have anything to do with being good at judo. What you have to get good at, and this is for the people who want to be, elite level competitors or Olympians or world champs or national champs or whatever you want to be. You have to become bedmates with sacrifice and suffering. Sacrifice and suffering. You have to embrace sacrifice and embrace suffering, and then understand that working out hard is not the key. Doing the reps is. Now, I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day. Until you can get to the point where you could do the same move in the same iteration and the same thing over and 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 over again for hours and hours and weeks and days and months, without changing, without saying that you're bored, without needing to be entertained, until you can get to that point, you're not ready yet. There's one coach that I really love his philosophy. His name is last name is Lydiard. He come up with the Lydiard approach when it comes to running. And his thing was, you need to really focus on VO2 max, because over a long period of time, especially when it comes to middle distance running and long distance running, your ability to increase your aerobic threshold is going to cap itself. But VO2 max, the cap is almost unlimited based upon your ability to get to the limit. Like, most people are not going to do what they have to do to get to their cap, okay? Whereas when it comes to anaerobic threshold, you're going to get to your cap quick. That being said, he recommends a lot of sub-maximal running for long periods of time, 1 hour, 2 hours, a lot of miles, 100 miles, 200 miles a week, that type of thing. And over a period of time, people become better runners because their running economy increases. They become better runners because their VO2 max increases. But it happens through a lot of long and slow and tedious running. Running that's not stressful, but mentally taxing. See, I had one of my friends tell me, man, I can't sit on the elliptical for 2 hours like you can. I just can't hang in there. Well, that's it. That's it. I've trained myself to be able to sit within that zone for 2-3 hours. I remember when I was coaching some of the kids in the Bahamas. These are elite level kids, and I was developing youth Olympians. I mean, this is not for what I call general pop. We had 16-hour practice. 16-hour practice and then sleep, followed by another 8 hours of practice of one technique. Why? Because if you're going to get good at it, you're going to have to put the reps in, and you're going to have to become a bedmate with sacrifice and suffering. And that's just what it is. And the practice wasn't hard. It wasn't about fighting. It wasn't about fighting. It was about being able to maintain a high level of focus on what you're doing and to do it while paying attention to detail without deviation. See, that's the key. And that doesn't have anything to do with judo. That has something to do with self-discipline. So when people ask me what's the biggest thing or the greatest thing to become good at judo, you can remove judo out and you can put anything in there. You'll be a great politician, to be a great teacher, great educator, great lecturer, great, whatever you want to do. You want to be the best lollipop licker in the world. I don't care what it is. You want to read newspapers the fastest. It doesn't matter what it is. It requires a high level of self-discipline. Self-discipline. And in order to have discipline, you have to be a disciple. In order to be a disciple, you have to study. In order to study, you have to be able to follow, because disciples also follow. So in order for you to have self-discipline, you have to have a coach. You have to listen, you have to follow, and you have to study. This is Dr. Ferguson, and I hope I answered your question. And please come by and visit me at Tampa, Florida Judo. I love to have you in the dojo. Even if you just stop by, just stop in, drop by. There's no mat fee for me. I'd love to train with you. We could do anything from, you want to do some groundwork, you want to do some throwing, you want to join class. You could do everything except for what we call in judo kuchiwaza. No, we're not going to sit around and talk all day. Hey, take care and have a super fantastic day, and I'd love to see you at Tampa, Florida Judo. Give us a visit at tampafloridajudo.com.